Welcome everyone, this is episode 7 of Talk Wrestling here on NoDQ.com, MySpace.com/Jeff Meacham, and YouTube.com, username NoDQCAW. You're watching us wherever you are. Thank you very much again for watching us. The most hits since episode, I believe, 2 or episode 4. Maybe even, episode 2 I believe it was. We got 6,000 and something. This last time we got 6,000 and something. So thank you very much once again to everybody that watched the show. And big show today. We've got a few questions, but we also have Summerslam Predictions. Of course, you can catch SummerSlam on NoDQ.com. Live coverage coming up this weekend. And be sure to check out NoDQ.com for all your SummerSlam needs. And for right now, let's get to your questions. This one's from Irk. I guess that's how you say it. It has a little trademark after it, so I'm assuming it's Irk. My question to you is, where do you see the wrestling world in 20 years? Who is running WWE? What is TNA doing? Who has died? Who's in the Hall of Fame? Is WWE still even around? Yes, WWE is still around in 20 years. It's being run by Shane and Stephanie and Triple H. I think Vince will have stepped aside by then. He'll be in his 80s, so he'll step aside by then. TNA is still around. TNA is thriving. TNA is definitely the number 2 promotion in the world, if not number 1 by then. Who has died? Sad to say, I think Hulk Hogan will be dead in the next 20 years. Ric Flair probably. A lot of the old timers that I grew up watching will probably have passed away from cancer or some weird happening or occurrence. Hall of Fame, Ric Flair will be in the Hall of Fame. Roddy Piper's already in the Hall of Fame. You'll see guys like Kevin Nash probably be in the WWE Hall of Fame. The Dudleys. A lot of people will be. Trish will be in the Hall of Fame by then for sure. Yes, WWE is still around, as I mentioned. WWE will be around as long as the McMahons are around. And as long as the McMahons are around, WWE will continue to thrive and survive and be a flourishing company. This one's from Heart Filled with Love. Do you think WWE should drop the Eugene gimmick? It was fun at first, but now that his so-called uncle no longer works for them, it's just gotten silly, maybe even compete under his real name. Yes, drop the Eugene gimmick. I've been calling for this for 2 years, more. Drop the Eugene gimmick, please. Get it out of here. Make it go away. Nick Dinsmore needs to wrestle as himself. He needs to come out of this stupid retard coma that he's in. Please, Nick, listen to me. Come out of this gimmick. Drop the superhero costume. Drop Eugene. Become yourself, please. I've been sick of Eugene for over 2 years. I've never liked the character. I think it's stupid. And I think that, I really, not the fact that he's stupid, wink, wink, he's retarded or whatever. I think that the character itself is legitimately stupid and a waste of time. I think Eugene would be better off wrestling as himself, Nick Dinsmore, and I think he has the potential to be a great WWE superstar if they let him break it out on his own. Yes, he's a former World Tag Team Champion. Big deal. His only main event feud has been with Triple H. That's it. That's ridiculous. And his other feud was with Bischoff when he had the hair versus hair match against him. And that was ridiculous, too. No, Eugene needs to go away. Far, far away. Nick Dinsmore, bring yourself back, please. Everything's wasted time again, once is the question. I was wondering if you ever heard of the tag team, the Briscoe Brothers, and if so, what do you think of them? The Briscoes. I know them by reputation only. I've never had a chance to see them because every time I go to PWG, they no-show. They have a reputation of no-showing PWG. They've had some problems with flights. They've had problems with transportation in general. I've heard they just are flaky. I've seen some of their stuff on tape through Ring of Honor. They're a good tag team, but by reputation, they're flaky, and hopefully they'll change that. Hopefully they'll start showing up some more shows out here. I'd love to see them. I'd love to see what they're all about. I haven't had a chance to see them yet. They were part of the tag team tournament to crown new PWG tag team champions back in May, and I didn't get to go to the tournament. I was broke, so hopefully the Briscoes will come back to PWG. Hopefully the Briscoes will show up. I'd love to see them and change my thinking on them, because right now I don't think very much of them, unfortunately. Alright, this one is from Pete. Jeff, I'm waiting for the WWE to make a lasting push with Mark Henry. He seems like someone who can do well with the big names at the top. Do you agree? Who else do you think they could push on top on SmackDown? Because if you ask me, Batista and the Great Khali aren't getting it done. Mark Henry does have the talent, I believe, to make it as a big name on SmackDown. He's been pushed as a monster heel. He has the feud coming up with The Undertaker and Unforgiven. And he has the potential. He really does. The trouble is he's been there for over 10 years now. And they haven't really done anything with him yet. And people don't buy him as a legitimate threat because he's been there so long he hasn't done jack squat. And for a while, he was a comedy character, if you remember. So I think that Mark Henry has the potential, but I don't think WWE's ever going to utilize that full potential because they've had the chance for over 10 years, and they've never actually got done with him. And he's been injured a lot, too. He's been injured quite a bit. So between injuries and WWE not pushing him properly in the beginning, Mark Henry's been destined to fail for some time, and I think when his contract runs out, that's going to be it for him. This one today comes from Bruce Adams. Did you enjoy the CM Punk Raven feud in Ring of Honor and the FWA? Me, I loved it. They cut great promos, great matches. It was one of the best feuds in wrestling history. Your thoughts? And if you haven't seen it, I urge you to check it out. You won't be disappointed. Thanks. I did have a chance to see one Ring of Honor match between CM Punk and Raven on a tape that my friend Alex had. Great match. Their feud was legendary. Their feud was talked about all over the internet and through the dirt sheets and the wrestling magazines. I got to see some of the pictures of the feud. I got to see one match, like I said. The great storyline. I think that if they carried over to TNA, it would have been great. Raven and CM Punk are two of the best talents in the history of this business, and I think they have potential. They had the potential, and they fulfilled the potential to be a great feud. They had a tremendous rivalry, and it went on for a long, long time in this business. And for them to be paired against each other was great for booking, great for business. It was just a great feud overall. So, but if you have any more matches, let me see them. I'd love to see them. Next one is from Thomas the Imitator Kennedy. What's your opinion on women's wrestling in the WWE right now? I think the women's wrestling is starting to make a slight comeback. If you notice, they're having some more women's matches on SmackDown. Michelle McCool's being more active. Victoria's there. And on Raw, you've got Jillian Hall, you've got Candice, Women's Champion, you've got Beth Phoenix, you've got Melina, and they're having the Big Divas Battle Royal. That's one of the matches at SummerSlam on Sunday. I think that they're going to make a push toward women wrestling kind of coming back, and hopefully it'll boost the division more. I think having a wrestler like Victoria on SmackDown's a mistake. She should be on Raw contending for the championship. But they're having Michelle McCool become more active, and hopefully they'll have the other divas become more active in the ring as well and actually train them properly and have them wrestle. I think if they do that, they'll have a very capable women's division in the near future. This one's from Nick M. Hey, Jeff, what are your thoughts on the Shamrock comeback now that he's pretty much finished with the Ultimate Fighting World? I think if he can still move about, he can inject some of the attitude era that the USA Network are looking for back into WWE. On the other hand, if he was used well in TNA with the obvious feud with Kurt Angle, the UFC Olympic background, and the ankle lock finish, it would be a success because after Joe, Angle has no real main event competition, in my opinion. You know, that's a good opinion you've got there, Nick. Honestly, Shamrock has a history with TNA. As you know, he was the first NWA World Champion under the TNA banner back in June of 2002. He would be a great addition to TNA's roster. I think that if he can still move about, like you said, he'd be a great addition to either roster. I don't know if WWE is so much interested in Shamrock anymore. I hear there's bad blood on both sides between Shamrock and WWE. I'm not entirely sure about that. But I think Shamrock would fit in well in TNA. You know, you've got guys like Brock Lesnar who negotiated with the company. He'd be a great feud for Kurt Angle as well. But I think Shamrock would be a good starter feud after the whole thing with Joe is over and with the 3 championships with Angle is over. I think that Shamrock would be a good addition. Thank you for the question. Absolutely. Let's see. Makika, I believe is how you say it. If it's not, let me know how to say it on the next show. All right? What do you think of Andrew Martin, also known as Test, going to TNA? I think it was the right move, and I like him so much better as a babyface than a heel. I think Andrew Martin is a great talent. I've always liked Test. Back when he was Test, now he's Andrew the Punisher Martin. I think that he has the potential to be a great star in TNA. He was in the main event match at Sacrifice, or what was it? Not Sacrifice. What was the last pay-per-view? Hard Justice. He was in that match with Sting and Abyss against Christian's Coalition. Andrew Martin is going to be a player in TNA, I think. I think that he'll, barring injury or any serious problems with him, he's going to be a factor in TNA for years to come. He's a great wrestler. I think WWE didn't get him near enough of a chance, and hopefully with with him being the new addition to TNA, he'll be a great superstar. This is from Violent J. No, not Insane Clown Posse's Violent J, a different person. Will TNA or WWE ever try and bring in big names like Jushin Thunder Liger and the Great Muta for a world title push and any title push? I think Jushin Liger would be a great addition to the TNA X division or the Cruiserweight division if the Cruiserweight division is used properly. The Great Muta had his run in the NWA and WCW. He was NWA World Champion, as a matter of fact. Back in 1993, he defeated Masa Chono for the championship before losing it to Barry Windham at Super Brawl 1993. Jushin Liger is a great light heavyweight, great cruiserweight, junior heavyweight, whatever you want to call him. He'd be a great addition to a cruiserweight division in WWE if, as I mentioned, the WWE would use a cruiserweight division properly. I think if he was in the X division, they would turn the X division up 2, 3, 4, 5 notches. Jushin Liger is a tremendous asset to any company he's with, and he's a great talent. The Great Muta, a little bit past his prime, I think, but he would be a good addition to maybe TNA if they wanted to get some international exposure. WWE for the Great Muta? No, absolutely not. This is from Terry. I had the opportunity to go to OVW house shows on occasion. I was wondering on what you think about OVW having better house shows than WWE. Never seen an OVW house show, so I couldn't tell you if they're better than WWE. I went to WWE house show last month at the Honda Center in Anaheim. It was a great show. I think WWE's house shows are improving. I think WWE's shows overall are improving. They're starting to make an upward swing again. I think the lead into Summerslam has been great for them. I think their ratings are better significantly. If you've noticed on NoDQ.com, they post the Raw ratings, and they're going up and up again. So hopefully the upswing continues. As far as OVW shows being better, send me an OVW tape. Let me know how they are. Let me see the OVW at its best, because I've never seen OVW. All I do is read about them and hear about them. I've never actually seen them, so let me see some tapes, and I'll be the judge for myself. This one's from Waja, or Waha, W-A-J-A. I don't know how to say it. So, where do you stand on Kevin Nash's creative talents? People say his booking was horrible in WCW, but the stuff he's done with Alex Shelley, Sanjay, Jay Lethal, and etc. is amazing. Do you think Nash gets blamed unfairly during his booking in WCW? Not so much unfairly. I think that Nash's booking did leave a little bit to be desired when he was in WCW. I think his stuff with the X Division and TNA is funnier than hell, but he's not really booking anymore. He's a contracted talent like everybody else. He's doing what the writers are asking him to do, but he does have some input, but not to the great degree that he had when he was part of WCW. I think that his booking led to a big decline in the ratings of WCW. You talk about Goldberg's streak ending because of Nash's booking. You talk about him being an integral part of the Russo era when he was booking. Nash was a big part of that. I think that Nash doesn't get blamed unfairly for it. I think that Nash is justifiably blamed for his part in the decline of WCW. This one is from Mike. Which do you prefer, the old days of Survivor Series, where every match was 6-on-6 or 5-on-5, or today's 1-on-1 matches? I think Survivor Series was a great concept back when it was 5-on-5 or 4-on-4. There was never really a 6-on-6 unless you had the tag team match, which was 10-on-10, 20 guys in one match. That was so bad. And that was back in the either 87 or 88 Survivor Series. I like Survivor Series the way it used to be, when it was all, elimination matches, because it made Survivor Series different. It made Survivor Series unique. With it all having one-on-one matches, or mostly one-on-one matches, it's like the pay-per-view. At least you have some matches that are 5-on-5, 4-on-4, whatever the case may be, and you have a different style of match than you would normally have at a regular pay-per-view. I think keeping Survivor Series with both is good for them, because some matches need to be 5-on-5, 4-on-4, whatever it's going to be this year. But I think they need to have an occasional title match or an occasional one-on-one match, just like I said, a grudge at Survivor Series, because it's one of the big four every year. So Survivor Series is good the way it is right now, as long as they keep a balance of both the tag matches, the elimination matches, and the singles matches. Summerslam Predictions. Yes. All right. There's only 8 matches announced. If there's more announced before this goes to air, sorry. Can't help that. I can only do what I can do. Kane versus Finlay. This is an interesting feud that they've developed in WWE. I like this feud, and I think that Kane needs a championship run again before he retires. And the best way to do that is to get a pay-per-view win at SummerSlam. SummerSlam is one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. It's the biggest pay-per-view of the summer, and I think that he needs a win. So I think they'll give Kane the win, if not a loss by disqualification, because he goes crazy on Finlay, one or the other. The Divas Battle Royal to get a women's championship shot. They're pushing toward Beth Phoenix, from what I hear, to be the next women's champion. Or they may have a mystery person involved. I hear Natty Neidhart's going to be moved up, maybe. I'm hearing Lacey maybe moved up. There's a few people that could be the next women's champion, but I think the favorite is going to be Beth Phoenix, so I'm going to go with her. Intercontinental title triple threat match. Umaga, Kennedy, and Carlito. Kennedy's time is now. Kennedy has been on Raw for a few months, and he hasn't really done a whole lot, except for injure Bobby Lashley, which was big. I think that Kennedy needs the Intercontinental Championship to sort of boost himself a little bit more, and I think that Umaga's time as champion is over. He's going to be pushed as a babyface destroyer, so I think that Mr. Kennedy is going to win the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. Rey Mysterio and Chavo. If Rey doesn't win, there's something wrong. Rey is making his big comeback. He needs a win. Bottom line, Chavo has been, riding Rey and just making fun of him, humiliating him week after week on SmackDown. Rey cannot do anything but respond to that. So Rey's going to win. The 619 will prevail at SummerSlam, and we'll see what happens from there with Rey Mysterio. The Ecw World Championship. CM Punk is going to defeat John Morrison, I feel, and they become the new champion. They need to have a different champion on ECW to have a, Big Daddy V will challenge him for the championship. You got a lot of heels on ECW that need to challenge for the championship, and they can't because John Morrison's a heel as well. So I think that John Morrison's time has come at last. He's going to lose the championship to CM Punk, and CM Punk will rise to the top, and he'll get his world title run for a good few months. The Great Khali and Batista. I think Great Khali's time is not quite done with the World Heavyweight Championship. I think he's going to retain the championship. Batista has gone down to the Vice Grip more than once, and I think it'll happen again at SummerSlam. I don't think the Vice Grip will do it, per se, but I think that Great Khali will find a way to retain the championship. Triple H and King Booker. WWE.com is predicting that King Booker is going to prevail, believe it or not. I disagree with that. Triple H is making a comeback like Rey Mysterio. Triple H needs a win to start his new run off fresh, and I think that King Booker's run his big mouth long enough. He already got the best of Jerry Lawler twice. He's gotten the best of JR, and I think that King Booker's been a bully, and I think he's going to get put in his place at SummerSlam by Triple H. And the WWE Championship, the main event, John Cena against Randy Orton. John Cena has been champion 11 months now. In this most recent reign, he's been champion 23 of the last 24 months. And I think that Cena's time has come. Cena's time is going to be over for a little while. I don't think he'll go away by any means, but I think that Randy Orton's time to ascend is now. If they're ever going to have him be a WWE Champion or World Heavyweight Champion again, the time is right now. Not to be a pun on John Cena, the time is now, wink wink. But I think Randy Orton will be the next WWE Champion come SummerSlam. Thank you very much to everybody that watched the show today. If I didn't get to your question, I've got 100 questions in my inbox still that I have to go through. I went through this all last night as this is 2 o'clock in the morning. I was going through these list of questions. So I apologize if I didn't get to your question. I will get to it soon. And stay tuned for episode 8. Don't forget, this Sunday on NoDQ.com, live SummerSlam coverage at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.